We're going to go to Georgia. Raymond, welcome to the program.
Hi, Kevin. This is Raymond, a rock and roll truck driver. Thank you for taking my call here. I got a question. I just changed companies. I was with a regular medium-sized carrier, which acted and operated just like one of the mega carriers. But I have recently gone to a carrier that is a small carrier, and they don't offer insurance. They don't offer, I take care of my own taxes. So I'm looking for possibly if there's a group of owner-operators out there who might have a group plan for insurance, maybe something like that with taxes or something like that.
Hold on. Separate insurance from everything. You can't have a group plan for individual contractors. Group plans are employees only. First off, before we answer some of these questions, let's take a step back. It doesn't sound to me like you're aware of how big of a deal this is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are you aware of all the things you don't have as an independent contractor?
Right. Yeah, I've been working for companies my whole life, so this is my first dive into it.
So you probably you don't have workers' comp. If you get hurt, you're probably screwed. You may have I don't know. I'd have to check with this company. You may have something called work accident. It's something, but it's nowhere near the kind of coverage you get with workers' comp. You do realize you are paying more tax now, considerably more tax, because when you were an employee, half of your Social Security and Medicare, which is a big amount, it's basically figure 8% of everything you earn. As an employee, you paid 8%. The employer also matched that. It's 7.65% is the real number. But now as a contractor, you have to pay both halves. That's a big hit tax-wise. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to come back. We'll explain the other things that are going on as well. Stick around. We'll get to your calls here in just a little bit. We're going back to Georgia. Raymond, I just want you to be aware of all the things, like I said, that are going to be very different. You don't have unemployment as well. Not a big deal in trucking. I don't know many truck drivers who ever collect unemployment in their life. There's always a job, but it's something to know. You have no unemployment whatsoever. Whether you quit, they terminate you, doesn't matter. You don't have the workers' comp. You have to pay both halves of your Social Security and Medicare. What else? Those are the big ones. And a lot of people aren't aware of that. Are they paying you significantly more than you could make as a company driver somewhere else?
Oh, yeah. It's like double my salary.
Okay. One of the things I will tell you about, let me just warn you about something, and it's not a big deal. I just want you to know this is probably not going to be a long-term move. Anybody that could double your salary, one of two things is happening. Either you were making, 22 cents a mile someplace, or this company simply is basing your pay on their current rates. And that's a really bad business decision. Now, if you can take advantage of it short term and make a bunch of money, knock yourself out. Just know that any company that could afford to double somebody's wage can't sustain that. It's just not going to be sustainable.
Okay, they actually gave me a choice of either a straight $2,500 a week or $1 a mile. And the dollar, I was making 52 cents a mile before.
Yeah, and the $2,500 a week, I don't know. These kinds of practices pay just here, take this amount of money, or we're going to call you an independent contractor. Those are usually practices by fly-by-night companies that, like I said, but again, if you can make $1 a mile for a month, who cares? You might as well go do it.
Yeah. So this, I want to reiterate. I don't know if you got the wrong idea. I'm not an owner operator. I'm a
No, I understand
driver.
that. No, you're not.
I don't know.
No. You
Right.
you are a company driver being paid incorrectly, if that's the way you want to say it. Because if you are a company driver, that makes you an employee, but they are treating you like an independent contractor. That's what I have a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a problem with it. I just want you to know, because it didn't sound like you were aware of all these things. And you're not going to find groups. I mean, there's no group you can join to get insurance. You're on your own. You're going to have to go get your own insurance. Mm-hmm. When you said a group about taxes, I don't even know what that would mean. There are lots of companies that do tax returns.
Oh, I didn't mean taxes. I just meant the insurance.
Oh, okay.
I was referring to the insurance on the group thing. I knew the taxes were going to be considerably higher, and I knew that I was going to be paying both sides of my Social Security and the FATEA, whatever it is. I can't remember whatever that part is.
Yeah. As far as the insurance, you're just kind of on your own. You just got to go find a plan somewhere.
I've got a pretty good tax guy that I can ask to see how much I need to put aside each week to cover, because, you know, at the end of the year, they give me a 1099 and I just have to pay it back.
Well, you don't pay anything back. You don't pay anything back. And I know a lot of people are just, our tax system.
I pay what's owed.
Correct. What we pay now, you should be paying taxes throughout the year once every quarter. That's something you need to start doing. Yeah. You need to start holding money back out of every check. And like you said, your accountant can help you figure out how much. And then every quarter, you write the government a check and you send that in. Then at the end of the year, when we do a tax return, what we're doing, what everybody is doing, is we're reconciling. We paid taxes throughout the whole year. We don't figure out how much tax we really owe until we do our tax return. Then, if we paid in too much throughout the year, we get a refund or we can roll it over. Or if we didn't pay enough, we have to write the government a check in April usually. So that's how that works. We don't, pay things back or get things back. We just reconcile. How much tax do you owe for this year? How much did you already pay in? And most people working as independent contractors go all year without paying in. If you do that, you're going to be penalized. You'll pay interest and penalties. And people swear to me, oh, no, I didn't. Yes, you did. It got calculated into your tax.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll definitely have a talk with my tax guy. I've been working with him for about 6 years now with my regular tax.
He'll be able to.
Guys that are actually independent guys that drive, and he said he'd help me whenever I needed it. So
it's not that complicated. He'll be able to handle this just fine. It's not that complicated. It's just most people just don't realize until they've worked this way for a year, and then they go to do their first tax return and they're shocked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that the only thing I really got going for me on the insurance side is that I'm single. So I'm just paying.
That helps a lot.
I'm probably going to be paying three times the amount. I don't know if I'm going to go for the Cobra that my last.
Are you healthy?
Offer me or not, because those are usually. I'm sorry, what?
Are you healthy?
What did you say? Yes, I'm in pretty good shape.
So you're not somebody who goes to the doctor a lot or has a lot of prescriptions or always dealing with medical stuff?
No.
What I would look at, what I would look at is what I've had for, I can't even remember now, 6, 7 years, maybe longer. And I've been self-employed my whole life. I've had to provide my own health insurance forever, 40 plus years. And I've been through all kinds of options. Things have changed over the years. But what I've had and what I plan on keeping, as long as they allow me to, isn't really insurance. They're not even allowed to use the word insurance. They're not allowed to use the word deductible. They have all their own words for these things because of all the goofy insurance regulations. They're called medical sharing programs. They're almost always run by religious organizations. The one I belong to is actually run by the Mennonites. It's a Mennonite organization. Okay. And I'm paying
Mutual, you ever been?
What's that?
Physicians Mutual, have you ever heard of them?
That is not what I'm talking about here. Physicians Mutual is just an insurance company, just like every other insurance company. Yes, I've heard of them. Not that it matters, because every individual in every state's going to get different quotes. So you just get as many quotes as you can if you're going for traditional insurance. I'm trying to give you another option to at least look at. I pay probably a half or a third of what I would pay for traditional insurance. And technically it's better coverage, much better coverage. And I've only used mine once in the entire time I had it, when I had my hand broke and all the surgeries, and they basically covered everything. I mean, I paid my deductible, and they covered everything after that, no arguments at all. But again, it's not insurance, and you have to understand that, but it's a really good alternative. And I don't even know what's going on with the whole Obamacare mandates anymore. That's gotten so confusing with all the new COVID rules and everything else. But there was a time when if you didn't have health insurance, you had to pay a penalty. That was part of Obamacare. I don't even know if that's still around anymore. It was supposed to expire, then COVID put it on hold, and it got confusing. But this insurance exempted you. I just said insurance. It's not. These plans exempted you from that. You did not have to have insurance through Obamacare if you had one of these plans.
Yeah, I think that was basically the premise of it. You had to prove that you had some kind of medical coverage.
Correct. And that's when I started looking at it, so I guess it has been a while. The reason I went to this kind of insurance was because of Obamacare, so I guess that does say it's been longer than I thought. I didn't realize I'd had that insurance that long, and then finally just used it last year for the first time.